Nah, yang berikutnya adalah sambutan dari Mr. Jason Thompson selaku Presiden Direktur BPC dan juga CEO OVO yang akan disampaikan melalui Zoom call.
Terima kasih. Selamat sore semuanya. Selamat Hari Kemerdekaan yang ke-75. Saya Jason Thompson, CEO OVO dan investor Bareksa. Sekarang saya akan presentasi dalam bahasa Inggris. Thank you. It's a great honor to be here today, not only to celebrate the new Bareksa relaunch and the leveling up of the company that I know Parkab is so passionate about, but also on Indonesia's 75th birthday of independence. It's a great honor for me to live in Indonesia, to work in this amazing time, as Indonesia is the center of the fintech revolution globally right now. Every investor I talk to wants to know about Indonesia. Today I've had several calls, and everything that is happening today in Southeast Asia, Indonesia is seen as the most important development. And as we've seen the impact of COVID-19, that importance globally has become more so, as they're looking at how fintech evolves during this very important period. So to be here today is a huge honor, and I'm very grateful to Bakar and the team. To represent OVO today at this event, but also to be here with Pak Hussein and Pak Benny, Pomojoke and the Ministry of Finance is also a great privilege. Terima kasih. All of the team, I think, at Bareksa have become far more than just colleagues. Certainly when I think about Bayos, Baroy and Batong as investors in Bareksa, they've also become advisors to OVO and me personally. And so I want to say a huge thank you that the investment in OVO hasn't just been successful, but it's also brought new knowledge, new experience from Indonesia to OVO. And I call readily on Bayos, Baroy and Batong for their help. And I'm very grateful for that help. I'm more grateful to say they're not just colleagues, they're now friends. And the more I spend time in Indonesia, the more I have friends here, the more I fall in love with the country. Pakar, over the last 18 months, working with Pakar, an individual that is very high integrity, that holds the customer very close to his heart. But I think out of everybody I know in Indonesia, I don't know anybody who is as passionate about this country, this government, and the future opportunities of the country as Pakar. Everything he does is Indonesia first. I know for a doubt that he would do anything that he needs to make this country successful and make Bareksa a part of that. So I use the opportunity working very closely with Pakar, not only to learn about Bareksa, to learn about the country, and also learn how to do things right in Indonesia, which is very different to how you do things in Europe. So I'm eternally grateful for my friend, my colleague, and indeed someone that I consider a brother, Pakar. In terms of what happened in Indonesia and the way we think about Bareksa as well, the past year the synergies have really started to grow, but we've only really just started to execute together. So when we think about the mutual fund and connecting OVO as a payment method, we thought this would be okay. This is the first step of us working together, OVO acceptance. So when this really grew rapidly, and OVO became 50% of the payments on Bareksa very quickly, we were really shocked. Why is this the case? Why would we know from China with Yurbao that the payment and the investment is key, but we didn't really understand why? I remember the event a year ago with Pakar. We were talking about how we would work together and how we wanted to emulate Yurbao. But what's interesting is it's the instant gratification. That the customer wants to see the transaction, make the investment, and be clear that that investment is available to them. And also be clear that that liquidity, that value, that return is also instantly available to them. So we've seen that our penetration has now reached 50% of all payments on the platform, which we are just really happy, elated, but more importantly, we really believe in the theses now. That working together with a wallet, high liquidity, speed of transaction, availability of information, that consumers of all levels, financial inclusion, can enjoy the benefits of investing money, be that for saving for education, for health, a home, or be that for a religious journey. I think this is a wonderful opportunity to work together. As an investor in Bareksa, we see a lot of market potential. I have to respond to my investors with return on investment and how we are changing the landscape of Indonesia. And I would say I see Bareksa as a jewel in the OVO crown, our investment and our partnership. The transaction will really run forward over the next 12 months as we implement Bareksa not only as a payment methodology, but all of the OVO users will be able to easily move their stored value from payments into investment and wealth. It's underpenetrated here in Indonesia, with AUM approximately only 4% of GDP. If we just look at a comparison across Southeast Asia, Malaysia has the highest penetration of around 59% of GDP. How do we turn Indonesia into a Malaysian investment story? Well, I think it's together. I think we have to partner really strongly. We have to break down the worries, the concerns, and people need to know they can get their money when they need it most. And I think in Indonesia, I've learned more and more that that's something critical for the consumer. The current digital retail market in Indonesia is around 3 million users, whilst the potential across Indonesia is 50 million users, according to the data that Ojaka has kindly shared with us. I think that's extraordinary. 50 million users. As a British person living here in Indonesia, 50 million people is a sizable country in Europe. When you put that in context, it's incredible. The opportunity of Indonesia, the opportunity for individuals to get benefit from their money it's overwhelming. The experience in other markets is something we continue to learn on, and there's far more we can do. From its inception in 2013 to 2017, Yorba's CAGR was 125%. I know from what Pakar shared with me that while the market has been declining during COVID-19 here in Indonesia, in fact, Bareksa has been growing far faster than the market here has been declining. But when we really start to execute and bring this to the OVO platform and together, mass advertising, etc., we believe that we can emulate Yorbao. So Yorbao is the biggest investment tool in the world. It's the biggest market. It's the biggest fund. But it has an overarching impact. Yorbao is about 20% of the funding in China. 80% is non-Yorbao. The education, the knowledge, and the growth that they've brought there is outstanding. I hope together we can have a similar impact. It's not just about Bareksa and OVO growing. It's around 50 million people having knowledge, security, understanding, and access to these investments. If we look at India with PhonePe, 2018, PhonePe had 400% growth in sale of digital goods through its platform. Again, how do we think about that between OVO and Bareksa? PhonePe sold over 250 kilograms of gold within 5 months. We know in our economy, gold is really important. Another area that, with the help of Pakar and other members of the Bareksa team, I'm learning. OVO is expecting to launch both MMF and gold in Q4 of this year and Q1 of 2021 respectively. We will take time to do it right. In the same way as we've executed payments right, we'll execute MMF and gold correctly with the help and support of the Bareksa team, and we're really excited about this. As we look forward to the second half of this year and scaling wealth products, the things that I've learned from Bareksa is that they put first. Trust, safety, liquidity of money. We'll continue to take those important points through. As we continue the COVID-19 reboot, OVO has maintained our trajectory towards allowing us to maintain market share. We've improved our EBITDA by 54% during this period, and we've increased our revenue. OVO is in a good shape, but it's been a hard time. We've worked closely with government, with regulator, and I hope the country sees growth again soon, GDP growth. I think we've all experienced a difficult time, I actually think we're all better for it in some ways. We've learned some of the good business things that we have to do and we have to focus. But we have a strong focus to accelerate wealth products and a strong focus to accelerate financial services, driving financial inclusion. And we'll talk more about that in a future event. With Bareksa, we're really excited now. The platform is there, the trust between our organizations is there, and the opportunity to really make a difference in Indonesia. I hope the experience that we've had in recent months and weeks and over the past 18 months, we can continue to build our relationship, build trust, enjoy our time together, learn, be humble in that we will make mistakes and we will acknowledge those mistakes and we will improve. No one has done this in Indonesia before. As I tell my team, this is like climbing Everest for the first time. There's no map, there's no guide that's done it before. We're all learning. This isn't China, it's not the US, and it's certainly not Europe. This is a new journey, and we're here to serve Indonesian people in the way that they need serving. And that means we can learn from China, we can learn from India, but the truth is, we'll have to do it differently in Indonesia. We have to localize. So I look forward to that. I'd like to extend my thanks to the whole Bareksa team. It really is a privilege to work with you all. It's humbling. I hope you're happy in your new home, Bakar and the team. I hope I come to visit you very, very soon and the office is open. I'm sorry I'm not with you today. I wish I was. And I'll be back in Jakarta tomorrow. But for now, I enjoy presenting. I've been very honest with you. I always get nervous speaking Bahasa, so I always try my best. But I'm really not very confident speaking Bahasa, so I always try my best, and Perkasa did that issue. So, kerjasama antara OVO dan Bareksa akan sangat mendorong inklusi keuangan yang akan membuat masyarakat Indonesia tambah makmur, masyarakat semakin makmur Indonesia, semakin maju. Merdeka Indonesia. I love Indonesia. Thank you.
Okay, so that was Mr. Jason Thompson as the President Director of BBC and also the CEO of OVO ya. Jadi trust and safety yang membuat Bareksa semakin level up nih Ran.
Betul.